Ladies and gentlemen, children of all ages, welcome to the Equity.Guru Investor Roundtable. It's itchy, scratchy, grumpy, and sleepy. No, actually better known as me, Rob. Over there's Chris down here with me in the basement. Party time down here, kids. Vishal in the far corner. He'll give us some charts later. And TK upstairs in the penthouse with the funky glasses. Chris Perry is going to launch us into SKRR Resources. Fine leadership group with a deep history, and they're doing some gold digging, and it's the Toronto Venture Exchange, SKRR. What are we talking about, CP?
So at first glance at these guys, I've said before, it looks like they rent trucks. It's not a dynamic looking brand as far as resource companies go. Few are. What SKRR really is an early stage small cap gold explorer. It's doing business out on the prairies. SKRR is doing business out there. They just completed a drill program that they're pretty happy with. When we first wrote about them was on the 20th of September, shortly before they put out financials that I guess people didn't really like, but it's a mining explorer. They don't make money. So a little bit of a sell-off. But in the days since, or in the months since, this thing's gone from 8.5 cents to 13, as high as 14. Looks on an upward trajectory. We could get mired in the technicals, and others will if they want to be. But from a very layman's perspective, good early results, decent little drill program, money's in the bank. People who are running the show include Ross McElroy, who's a bit of a mining legend, and is chairman of the company. Look, this is one of those things that if you're a long-term player and you think that gold's got upward trajectory, me on both counts, this is a good little earner for you. It's only a $4 million market cap. Literally, you could sell a downtown Vancouver condo and buy this entire freaking company. If you think that that's the only potential upside it has, then stay away. But I think in a market where I think gold is going to be, as crypto wobbles, increasingly looked at as being somewhere to take your money. I think it's got upside. Certainly the investor deck for SKRR is all about the upside of gold as a market. I kind of hate those presentations because, you don't know if you're going to find any first. Let's focus on that. But the right people, the right place, it's going to take some developing to really flesh this out. But I kind of like it at this price. I think buying in at 10 to 14 cents, a $4 million market cap is next to nothing. If a CEO sneezes and farts at the same time, the stock could go up a cent and you've made a decent return on your money. So I would say, you maybe want to have a little side bet on the mining market. SKRR is not a bad place to be looking right now.
SKRR Exploration, which is on the Venture Exchange. TK, what are we deep diving on here when we look at the gold?
So it's kind of echoing home what Chris just said. You have a $4 million market cap with a company that has capitalized assets of close to $5 million and a cash pile of close to $2 million. So you really are buying it for cheaper than its actual assets. And the discount is probably persistent because of the stage that the company is in. And that's where investors are not fully appreciating what the actual company can do, where they are more afraid of the uncertainty factor. But if you look at what it owns instead, you realize what kind of discount you're getting. And because there's not many drill results out, I just wanted to focus on that aspect of it, what they actually own. So they own 100% ownership in two of their stakes. I'm going to butcher the names, but bear with me. It's Manson Bay and then Manson Bay South, where they have, both of them are in prospecting stages, but they do have two of their projects, Leland and Olsen, in the drilling stage. And then they have another set of projects as well, properties that are in the geophysical exploration or the sampling stage. So it's a mixture of different stages, but majority of them are still prospecting. So I think the market, what it has done so far, has applied a discount to the stock just based off that information, but neglecting the actual assets that you could own. And majority of the assets are tangible, so it's easier to get market to market values for a lot of what they own. And in Canada, there is an active market for secondary equipment from mineral resources companies. So that's how I look at this one. You're buying a discount for something that's trading at close to 20% of the net assets.
I don't think you butchered any names at all. I think you said Manson just fine, and I actually butchered it. I called them resources instead of exploration off the top, because it is SKRR Exploration, and that is actually their stock symbol, SKRR, as well. And speaking of their stock symbol, Mr. Vishal is going to shoot us around the chart.
Yep, and as Chris mentioned earlier, Rob, the stock popped from 8 cents to about 13 in these last couple of days. So that's already, I believe, about a 60% gain in just a few days here. So I think this is showing up on a lot of people's radar as a bottom picker play here. I've drawn a downtrend line here as well, which we've rejected 3 times in the past, but we did break out of that actually near the end tail of October 27th, and we've had a nice pop from there. And you know, it's a junior play, a junior gold play. People know I'm bullish on gold and silver and commodities in general. I'm approaching them more as an inflation hedge trade going forward. So I'm bullish on the metals. If we take a look at gold here quickly, nice sort of flag pattern here. So think of a flag pole and a flag sticking on that flag pole. And we've broken out of that, and we're just seeing some indecision here. And I think it's more because we have the Federal Reserve speaking on Wednesday, November 3rd, and that's going to move the US dollar and move gold. If we take a look at the GDXJ as well, which is the gold juniors market, it's back at a major support level here at $42. So when gold moves and the GDXJ moves, we will see SKR and other juniors move. And what they say is that these juniors move just like gold, but on steroids. So if you want real big gains, and if you're bullish on gold, I think you go for these juniors. And when you take a look at SKRR, you know, they're in Saskatchewan. It's very early stage, but they have good management, which is very important. They have some cash in the bank, and they are drilling some holes. So we're hoping that once those results come out, there'll be some good finds there, and in the future they'll be able to raise a lot more money. But I think that might not be an issue because you have Ross McElroy there as the CEO. It's an exciting story because it's an undeveloped and under researched area in Saskatchewan there, and I think Saskatchewan's a good jurisdiction, right? It's not an AK-47 province or country, you know, Canada is, or maybe it is, I don't know, but it's, you know, a very good jurisdiction. The Fraser Institute rates it as one of the top 5 jurisdictions in Canada. So I think that's very important when you're looking at these juniors, because you always find some in parts of Africa, which, you know, they have a lot of good gold there, good resource, but jurisdiction-wise, I don't know if you'd want to be there. I would rather focus on things in Canada or in the US, places where you know, you don't have to worry about the mine being taken away. So chart-wise, it looks good, and I think if you're bullish on something like gold and silver, then yeah, SKRR is definitely a good pick, and it will move like gold but on steroids, and you will see big gains on this one, especially it being a cheap stock at around the 13-cent zone, and it has a lot of price, price levels up here that it can rediscover in the short term.
Now, we upped the ante in November, $7,500 available to each of you for investing. By the way, your reference to Saskatchewan and AK-40, which town's crazier, Regina or Saskatoon?
Prince George.
Prince George?
Florida.
Prince George, British Columbia?
Yeah.
Well, that's off the Saskatchewan chart.
Not really, though.
By 1,000.
It's Saskatchewan state of mind up there.
What are you spending my money on, or how much of it?
Me?
Yeah.
Look, I love it at this price. I noted that on the insider trading documents that the CEO has been buying this thing up and down. He's put about 100,000 shares into it over the last so long, which I appreciate. There's no one selling. It's a good sign when the guys in the guts of it are just acquiring stock whenever it drops. So I'd be inclined to do the same. Maybe throw 2K at it, have another 2K on the itchy trigger finger, and if it starts to run, jump in with the rest.
I like it. TK, you going to be a wuss?
My response now is not because of that last statement. I just want a precursor with that.
No peer pressure.
No peer pressure.
Right.
But I'm going all in. The full part. And my reasoning behind
just because I called you a wuss. Hey.
The reasoning behind it is, if I was looking at this and there was a split take there, I don't know if anyone saw it.
I shamed you.
He had a spit take.
That's I gotta clean my monitor now. You got me just at the wrong time.
That's why I was like, let me precursor it. But it's because initially what I see here is an asset that's selling itself for $4 million in the market. There's some people who probably panic sold or were too fearful about something. So the market is giving me $4 million, whilst the assets are about $5 million, not including $2 million in cash. That's close to a 40% discount. So for me, I see that as a margin of safety for my stupidity. If I am wrong, there's a margin of safety on the assets that I'm buying. So I rather go all in on that basis.
Well, I'm allowed to screw up their name because I already invested in these guys the last time we talked about them. Yeah. So it is SKRR Exploration. Sorry
AKA
about that. Sorry about that, Sherman and Ross, but you'll forgive me if we keep investing. And Vishal, you're going to tell us what you're going to do.
Yeah, I mean, I might be a bit of a wuss here, but I'm going to put a caveat here because I'm invested in a lot of other gold juniors and royalty and streamers. I'm very bullish gold and silver, right? So I have positions in royalty and streamers and maybe a bit more advanced projects. These guys, like I said, are very early stage, but don't get me wrong. I think they're going to move up higher with gold and silver prices. It's just the overall junior sector will do that. I'm going to go 1K in these guys. I like these low levels, but again, it's just because I have allocation in other metals and other metal positions and juniors that are a bit more advanced.
Makes sense.
So I'm going 1K, and I hope we just don't see gold fall after tomorrow's Fed decision.
All right, so you're actually just diversifying within.
I'm just trying to manage my portfolio.
Within the
sector. Gold.
All right. Interesting cross section of opinions, and that's why you, the viewer, must learn the name properly, SKRR Exploration, first of all, but also do your own homework because you're getting a variety here, and you'll want to do a little research because we can't guarantee anything. Obviously, we've got a cross section going anyway, but no past performance guarantees future results, and we can't guarantee future results either. We appreciate you joining us for this. It's SKRR Exploration Inc. and it's SKRR on the TSX Venture Exchange. We'll see you on the very next Investor Roundtable here from Equity.Guru.
Let's go.